everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Lab. Hope everybody is enjoying the preparation for the holidays. Obviously, we got Christmas and New Year's coming up, so I hope everyone's got all that ready. I know I don't. But obviously, as the holidays kind of come around, um, obviously there's a lot of crunch time, both at work, school. You got finals coming up. Maybe you already had finals. Maybe you're approaching the end of the year and everybody wants to see numbers. Everyone wants to get projects done. It's just been crazy, crazy, crazy. So I guess the point of today's episode, we're going to kind of reiterate, and kind of reinforce is mindset and motivation for athletes, for the general public, just all the above. Kind of talking about mental resilience, some motivation techniques, maybe what we've used, maybe a few scenarios and examples we've kind of gone through ourselves. Just kind of keeping, more of a positive framework and mindset, but then also just kind of keeping your goals in mind, because obviously sometimes things get hard and kind of you can lose sight of, what you want to achieve. And sometimes seeing those written down, not a bad thing. Little subtle reminders. But I guess before we kind of get started here, let's talk a little bit more about what Brandon's been getting into more of, which is the ice baths every morning.
Yeah, I've been diving in a lot about that lately. And the reason I originally started it was for the mental aspect of it. Obviously, you got the whole bunch of the physiological aspects of it, but there's nothing more least thing you want to do at 3:30 in the morning is walk outside when it's 20, 25 degrees and hop in freezing cold water for 3 to 5 minutes. So it's just one of those things where eventually it's tough at first, but it becomes a non-negotiable type thing. So it's like 3 minutes of where I just need to sit there and focus on like my breathing, controlling the environment, like the environment. Obviously, I can't control the environment, but controlling like my mindset in that chaotic environment, which is really the reason I kind of wanted to get into it in the first spot. Like I feel like physically, I have no problem pushing myself to limits, but there's some time where you start getting kind of like that mental, fog or going like that. So how can I maybe stay away from the physical aspect, which I'll do at the gym, and then how can I push that mental aspect to a different level that I've never really experienced before? So the cold plunge has been an awesome little tool for that.
I had a feeling you might like that thing. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, pretty nice.
Yeah. No, I guess so. What I've kind of found with like the cold plunges is just like, I don't know how you would phrase it, Brandon, but like I guess the first hurdle of when you first like go into the ice and you're even thinking about it. I don't know how you feel about when you get up and the first thing you're going to do is go into that cold water. Is like my stomach always kind of knots up a little bit. I kind of get that little bit of a, oh cool, I got to go outside and I got to put my head into about 30-degree water and just sit for 5-6 minutes. And that first hurdle is pretty hard when you first get into the water and you're like, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. And it just sucks.
Yeah.
I hate it. There are some days I absolutely hate it. I'm like, what the hell am I doing?
It's to the point where it's still mentally, it still kind of plays with me a little bit, even though I know once I get in and I'm like I don't have that initial shock now. Cause like before, like if you watch my videos, I'd get in and I'd have to take like 4 or 5 deep breaths to like get myself to calm down and relax. And now I can just hop in and chill. But it's still like the mental part of it, like getting into it is still kind of like mind fucks you in a sense. Even though it's not gonna be that bad, but it's still like it's definitely crazy how the body adapts, like to the resistance to cold water and then to just like it's not that bad now. But like mentally it's still like, man, it's you look at the thermometer. I don't even look at the thermometer anymore. I look at it when I'm inside. If I look in that thing and I see it's like below, if I see that thing like mid 30s, I'm like, shit, it's gonna be cold.
This is not good.
So I just stopped even looking at it. But you can definitely like it's like a lot of things in life. I mean, you can sit there and psych yourself out before something even happens.
Yeah.
So
that's about right.
Which I guess is what we're going to dive into a little bit more deeper here. But
yeah.
Well, I think he made like a pretty good point. It's usually the hardest aspect is the fact of just starting and just getting it in. And like you can apply that to everything. I mean, everything can suck if the timing of it's all off. So
True.
you just got to be in that right headspace. But you know, another thing is like how powerful that mind is. Like don't psych yourself out before you even give yourself an attempt, you know, to be successful or fail. But there should be no shame in failing.
True. Natural process. It
It's
really
like
is.
I had a basketball player. We were doing high incline intervals on the treadmill, and he's kind of one of them guys where once he kind of starts mentally, he kind of starts like, okay, this is getting tough. He'll let his body start to react a little bit. So he'll start kind of heavy breathing, hyperventilating, start freaking out. It's like, dude, like when you're in the middle of that run, even like after, how fast can you calm down? So it's like I relate because he started doing some cold plunges too. Like right when you get into that water, the first thing you gotta do is you gotta calm your breathing down and relax, right? Okay, apply it to
Yeah.
this rest period you get. So he finally did that, and before he ended up kind of like, okay, we had to drop speed after like set 6 out of 10. This
Mm.
time we were able to maintain speed all the way through the 10 sets that we had. So like it's that applying one thing to another, it's all kind of related. It's how fast can you get your body and your mind to just relax in a chaos environment.
Yeah.
It's a long day. I can't talk no more.
I was gonna say voice cracking there a little bit.
But I mean, more than likely, he's going to be able to take that information and that practice and apply it to a game, like a
Mhm.
crunch time situation. You know, like there's those game time players. Like that's usually like what it is. It's just like being able to calm your mind down and not freaking out and tensing up in a high pressured situation.
Mhm. Yeah. Actually, there's a good book. It's called Breathe, by oh gosh, Rickson Gracie. He's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter. And he actually has a really good chapter in his book that basically talks about like getting like basically getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, and like you can judge the character of a person based off how they handle stressful situations. Do they automatically go into a panic? Are they actually going to like sit there? They kind of think through it calmly, because if you panic in a fight, especially when you're on the ground and the guy's basically like, I guess, taking the wind from you, um, and you get that person to panic, you can make them do whatever you want, basically, and then you can win that fight. And that's kind of like life. If you have someone who does not deal with great situations or like hard situations in a great way, and they're not keeping their mental clarity, they're not doing their breathing like they maybe need to, uh, that person's just not going to handle those situations as efficiently as possible. Whereas, like you were just saying, kid would panic, kid wasn't handling the sprints very well, and then all of a sudden he's got that down. He can go through all the sets without like basically stressing himself. um so what are some other things? Obviously we talked about like the ice plunges and things of that nature, but like what are some other things that maybe you guys have done to like help with like mental clarity, like mental fortitude? Like what are some other things maybe you guys have done?
Um, I mean, I've never done like the yoga or the meditation, or I've never really done anything stuff like that. It's just like I just like putting my. I mean, your mind's gonna quit 1,000 like way before your body will. So like over the years, I've just like learned how to just tune out what my mind's saying to try to just eventually go to that place. I
Mhm.
mean, chaos is coming no matter what. I mean, I think too many people try to control the uncontrollable. I mean, my coach always in high school always said there's 3 things in life you can't control, and that's people, time, and weather. So don't even let that stuff affect you. So I mean, that's kind of like I've taken that into kind of like my not like life motto, but in a sense,
Yeah.
I use that in every day because there's always somebody going to do something that's going to piss you off. You can't control it. Okay, move on. Something happens, you can't control it. It's life. All right, stay calm. I mean, the storm's coming, man. So put your head down and go right through it. That's like why we kind of had that little shirt for the kids to kind of realize where it was like towards the storm with the whole buffalo versus the buffalo and the cow and that whole the story and stuff like that. So
Yep.
life's a head game.
True. Very
And I I forget who said it or where I got this line from, and I wish I could give them credit where it's due, but it's just like essentially having your mindset being controlled chaos. So like in those heated moments, being able to control what you can in those moments and being present,
Mhm.
then it gives you like a sense of clarity. And it's almost like I really apply it like when I'm lifting, you know, like you'll see a lot of people get so fired up because they feel like that's what they have to do. And it ends up being like a negative effect, you know, so you almost have to like, okay, like control your breathing, control your setup. When you
Mhm.
pick it, is it the same as your warm up? You know, just like little things like that, because people get too emotional and they get rushed, and then now just like in life, you're rushing through the process of it. You're gonna screw something up.
It sounds like me right now. No, yeah, I agree with you. I think that when we kind of get away from the things that work and the things that have helped us stay grounded, uh, life can definitely feel like it's overwhelming. I won't lie. Right now, like when there's so many different things kind of going in many different directions, and you're juggling a lot of different things and you're wearing a lot of different hats. Things can get hard, and I definitely know that like sometimes dealing with like conflict, dealing with uh I guess you could even say like emotions, like sometimes it's just not easy. Um, and that step back, that ability to kind of, I guess, kind of look within what's going on, like just breathe, kind of find what you need to and like the eye of the storm and kind of bring yourself back to what grounded you initially. One thing I've been kind of playing around with, been doing a lot more like the mindfulness training and stuff like that. I'm kind of new to that stuff, I won't lie. It's not bad. I have a very hard time sitting still in general. So I don't know how if you guys have ever tried that before. Um, but just some stuff I found on YouTube and some different resources I found in one of the books I just got. Um, I think it's downstairs. But I'm just kind of reading through that, just kind of taking an inventory of like, why does something cause me stress? What can my game plan be? How can I handle that in a better manner next time? Um, if it's something like Brandon just said, what was it? People, weather, and what was else?
Time.
Time. It's like if it fits in any of those categories, how can I maybe find ways to let that go if it does bother me to a degree where like, it's interfering with my efficiency throughout the day, maybe even with training. Um, but I definitely think that I've also, I don't know about you guys, but I've gotten into like journaling and stuff like that, where like if there's something that's really ticking me off or something, I just got to write it out, make a plan, or like just a reminder, writing it down, why I'm doing what I'm doing. I mean, there are times when I'm at my job and I'm like, I love what I do, but there are some days when I'm the exact opposite. And so sometimes I just got to write it. I will literally get out a piece of paper and I just write down why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I have to, because there are days sometimes where I just want to rip my damn hair out and I just want to leave that clinic because there's just, I mean, you can lead people to water and you can you can try to help them and make them do as much as they want. But if they're not willing to help themselves, then one, why the hell are you there? Two, I can't, like you said, you can't control people. Sometimes that's one of the most frustrating parts of my profession, is when you have people that just want to have things done for them. And it's like, it doesn't work. So that's what I've been having to do lately is I've been, sorry, kind of soapbox there for a second, but just having to write that down on a damn sticky note, just to remind myself, we can't make people do what we want, but I can control what I can control here. And that's about it. But yeah, so I've been writing things down a lot more. It's actually been helping quite a bit, obviously, except for right there, because I got a little heated, but that's about it.
Yeah. I used to one of the companies I worked for when I first left or got out of college was one of their big things was during like those stressful times is remember your why.
Mhm.
So you always had like a focus to remember, just like little stuff, like a lot of people would write down like, $100,000 car. And it was like, no, this is why I'm going through all of this in order to have that vehicle kind of
Mhm.
thing, and it doesn't have to be materialistic like that, but you know, just something to like refocus you just like in that moment and be like, oh, okay, yep, this it's just an episode. Exactly, Peyton. He's going through it. He's in the cold plunge right now.
Oh yeah, probably feels like it.
Oh, shoot.
All right.
Come on down, big guy. There he is.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, he's huge.
5 months today.
Look at that face. You're a tank, dude. He might have
This is
red
my
hair.
fly right here.
She gonna have red hair, Brandon? What do you think?
Ah, Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, he's still got like his little baby red hair patches back here, but it's kind of coming in a little dirty blonde. We'll find. We'll see.
I'm gonna laugh.
Nice.
That's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be awesome. Oh, good job, Peyton. Thumbs up, man.
He's so curious.
All right, Peyton. So, what are your top three, ways of keeping your mental clarity? You're cool when dad's not feeding you, and when you're playing and you get frustrated and your head gets too tired. What do you?
He cries. He has not figured that out yet.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to talk when he gets older.
Yeah.
Oh, not bad, buddy. Not bad. No. I definitely think the top three things you can do if like, whether or not if you're like having difficulty with like mental clarity, maybe mental fortitude, resilience is one, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. Two, like you said, try to write down your why, kind of like as a constant reminder. I know I actually used to have a whiteboard up in here, but I would like basically write down like a weekly or a monthly goal, sometimes even like a yearly plan of like, I want to do this by the end of the year. I got to have this done. I got to have this certification. Or so like my orthopedic certified specialist, I remember in 2021, I wrote it down, all three letters, put it on a sticky note, put it on the wall, and I was like, that I want to do that. Next, year and a half later of study, here I am, got it. So much fun to do, but time consuming. But find something that actually makes you uncomfortable and try to do it. I mean, you got to put yourself into that spot to actually experience what it's like to be uncomfortable, and then that's how you can learn how to control it in the moment. Two, write it down, what's your why, and three, pick something you want to achieve. I mean, if you're just kind of pedaling through life, you're not doing anything, at least find something that's worth moving forward for. One of the biggest things about being discontent with your life is stagnation. You're not moving forward in life, you're always in the same spot. Of course not, I'd be upset too. Probably why Peyton cries when he can't crawl. Come on, man.
My buddy's got a tattoo, and it's an hourglass, and it just says when I rest, I rust. And I always thought that was pretty cool.
That is, oh man, that's pretty sweet. I actually like that a lot. Shoot.
Peyton does too.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people just have a hard time accepting the situation that they're in. They'll just be in denial so long, then they just can't figure out how to get out of it.
True.
So like the biggest thing is just accept it, and then it is what it is, and then kind of go over your strategies or game plans after that. But the first level of it, just all right, here it is, accept it. It's happening, so on and so forth. How are you gonna attack it?
Yep.
Yeah. Man, I'm gonna go.
That's all you can do.
Jump on that wagon, get in that cold plunge. Actually, one of the things I've been getting into a lot lately is I'll do the sauna beforehand, and then I get in the cold plunge, and that is miserable, especially now with the actual like temperature difference between the two. Is because before when it was like 50s, 60s outside, and I'd go from sauna to that, I was like, oh, this is actually kind of nice, feels good. Now it's like, okay, I go from sweating like bullets to I go outside and I'm already shivering like crazy. I put my foot in that water and my immediate like alarms go off. Like, no, not doing this today. Oh, not good. But I like it a lot. Do you have one, Trotter?
What?
Cold plunge?
No, not yet. Trying to figure out which one will fit me. Because yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Probably a horse trough.
Yep.
But in the past, when I've done them, my knee would lock up to where like I couldn't straighten it the rest of the day from like sitting. So like sitting in the water. So it's better if I can have it like straight and be able to bend it like when I need to.
Okay.
So yeah, just
some nice ones.
Princess crap.
Nice.
That's that 30-plus-year-old right there. He in the 30s is rough.
Feeling it every day.
No.
I need a warm up for my warm up now, and it's stupid.
That old man. We're the same age, aren't we?
32.
Yeah. So you should be not that bad. Come on now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I won't say it.
Say it. Just say it. Just say it.
Well, you may have just deadlifted 500 2 years ago. I've been doing it for a decade.
True. True.
My shit is broke.
You got me there. You got me on that one.
Yeah.
No. Anything else you guys want to add on mental resilience and maybe being comfortable with uncomfortable?
Figure it out.
Sometimes you just got, yeah, tell yourself to grow up.
I'd say one last thing would maybe be like if you talk about training partners, accountability sometimes in a group isn't a bad thing. Someone call you out on your shit, stuff like that. And you're being a little weak.
Well, I mean, like a little sidebar or whatever, but like I think that we do, it's unspoken, I guess. So we'll kind of clear it up, but we do that with our, like, between us three, like at work, like Brandon, AJ, and myself, and heck, even Pablo's like starting to catch on. But I mean, we challenge ourselves amongst each other all the time. Like, as far as like if Brandon feels as if like I'm not being the best trainer that I can be, he's one of the first ones that's like, oh, hey, like, you suck today. Like, you probably took on too many clients. Like, you need to fix that. He was literally the first one that told me that, and that was over a year ago. And he's just like, you're not going to be like the best trainer that you can be to these kids if you're taking, 8, 9, 10 clients a day. He's like, you got to back it down.
Yeah.
He was like, and that's from my experience. I'm not saying it just to say it. So
yeah, like last night, I did that same thing last night, man. I bit off way more than I could chew, and I felt it today. So I ended up having to cut my clients down today. So I went from having 5 1-on-1s, 4 school sessions, and then our normal 3 sessions at the gym. So I mean, first session started at 5 a.m., last session started at 8:30 p.m. So I mean, today I'm done at 7, no matter what.
Yep.
Money can wait. I need to keep my reputation is worth more than that. That extra $60 that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And to these kids, man, it really is like, and I think that's something that we've both taken into consideration, because like we're in different school settings now. Like so like at the end of the day, like no name is where our foundation is. Like that's what got us started. Well, at least for myself, but like we've been in the trenches for the last 3 years since I've been a part, and Brandon even longer. So yeah, it's you got to remember your roots and continue to go back on that and grow from the foundation.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to call out your friends, essentially. Because the friends that tell you that, like, when you suck and you're actually sucking, they tell you the truth. Those are the ones that you always want to keep around.
Because it's easy to sit there and like think money wise. It's all right if I just add, one more session at $50, and then all of a sudden, I do that one time a day. Then all of a sudden, that's like an extra $100, $250 a week. But it's like, it's worth it long run. And then I mean, hey, I was like, I'll tell you it's not. But if you want to figure it out yourself, knock yourself out.
Yep.
True. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how that would go over in the PT world.
Probably not great.
No.
Probably a trip to the HR department.
Pretty much.
Which we don't got. Thank God.
We're each other's HR.
Yeah. Our HR is our wives. You're like, you took that one too far.
Oh man. No, I won't get in on that on patient numbers per day and stuff like that. But there are some days like you just feel it, it. Like you rehash the same conversation with every single patient. And it's like you get to the 10th or 12th person a day, and your mind is just like left field.
But
great.
I always think about it too, and I wish I could give credit where it's due. I just can't remember who told me. But that may be like the 10th or the 20th time that you said it today, but that's the first time they've heard it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So like the way you say things also make a great impact on the outcome of the result you're trying to get.
True. Very true. All right. So that's all we have for today on today's episode. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot us a message and let us know. But we will see you guys in the next episode.